that she's put in for years and years. She will become the most winning rider, I believe, in our moto sport, and thoroughly deserves every bit. And I think she's only 15. Take it away.
All right, underway with this one here. This is our 30 to 16 years, the Premier 85cc Racing. And I'll tell you what, you will remember this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, is the weekend you watch Levi Townley on an 85 around JuniorMX Park. This kid is absolutely brilliant. And he's got the big lead here at the moment. So we've got our Australian visitor, Bodie Court, in there as well. We've got some good performances from our local stars as well, and a big pile up on the first corner. So we've had it all unfolding here at JuniorMX Park. So look out for it as we see Levi, and it looks like a good start. Richard Spencer too on the number 7. He's got right up-handed the pace. Here's our Australian visitor, Bodie Court, there in third place on the gas machine. So we've had Bodie come over a couple of times to New Zealand. Always great to have him over here. And looking on here at the moment. So brought to us by Central House Movers, the legends there. 13 to 16 years, 85, and this is going to be, like I said, Neil, the time you remembered watching Levi Townley on an 85 around JuniorMX Park. Have a look. It's just absolutely flawless to watch. He's virtually on the valves the entire lap, and the body position, the technique is just absolutely brilliant. Have a look at this. This is a world-class 85cc racer, ladies and gentlemen. Now have a look at the lead. He's already stretching out as we've got it here at JuniorMX Park. Lap 1 done and dusted, and have a look, streaking away.
Here he goes. All right, let's see. Of course, Freshman's victory in Australia at the Horsham and the 85cc racing. So there he goes. Look at that. The poise, the balance, the riding position. Perfect as he fires it up. And look at the others. Competition can only see which way he goes. So they're all the trials out there, of course, moving up now to 13 to 16 years for this Central House Movers sponsored class. 31 riders, an amazing turnout. Levi Townley, Richard Spencer, Bodie Court, Australia, along with Isaac Ashworth in there. We go to Connor Nean, along with Campbell Donnythorne, Cooper Young, along with Ryder Sully. So tell you what, a pretty classy looking field, and Brad with 31 entries in this field. Weren't we lucky to have saved it? You know, that mix, it's hard to think why we would have ever had a 14 to 16 years class. It's 13-year-olds are filling it. Levi Townley, an exact example of that. Why we want to see him in this class. That means that his brother can win the other class as well, so the two of them don't come up against each other. So there you go. In 13 to 16, 85cc racing, Central House Movers, Levi Townley, Richard Spencer, Bodie Court. Bodie has been another Aussie that seems to like coming back to New Zealand. Brad, you've seen it over the years. You've seen the kids come and go. After all, Chad Reed stayed in your bedroom, mate. So I played in the sandpit with you as well, and something that I'll never forget for what a cool dude he was and all those years ago. But hey, we've had the Aussies here before, and long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely. You can kick me out of my bottom bunk. I had to go up the top when Chad stayed in my room. So yeah, not many people can say that multiple-time AMA champion kicked you out of your own bottom bunk there. But yeah, no, we've had some great Australian visitors over the years, and it is fabulous to see Bodie being one of them that comes over time and time again. So fabulous to have all our Australian visitors. We'd like to honour them and mention them throughout the weekend, because without them, we've just got the New Zealanders here, and it just lacks a bit of international flair and flavour. So we appreciate their efforts coming over here. And have a look at this, Neil. He's already got the entire little front straight there. Levi Townley turning it on here at Flips Motocross Park. But have a look. Now, Richard Spears, good start there in second place for Rich. This is a great performance. And we talked about some of these guys in that 12 to 14 years 125 class. A lot of them double classing. So, man, I don't even think I could single class in the 5 motors at JuniorMX Park this weekend. So these youngsters showing us how it's done.
Oh, man, when you see the bike when he comes sideways, he goes on the kicker on the inside, and he's going over there that quick that by the time the bike lands sideways, and it nearly bucks him some great suspension to do to it. You want to do a shout out for the granddads today. Those granddads are pretty awesome. There's a bloke called Deansy in the team as well, but he's not good for all that much. He probably might be good enough to wash the bikes, but to the crew, the two granddads today, Grant and Brian, there are a couple of legends that we've admired and respected for so much much in the sport. Even Grandma's along here today as well. So Team Townley is pretty wicked indeed. And to have the Gray and Townley combo coming back into form is just fabulous. You know, and it's why I call it our family. People that we've known and respected for a long, long time in our sport. So great to see. So here we are. And of course for Grunter, well, he wanted an opportunity to get out of Taupo for the weekend anyway. Taupo are going to struggle to even find their own town with the invasion of, they've set a figure of about 40,000 people in Taupo this weekend for supercars. So I'm sure it's going to be something that you'll either love it or you hate it. The supermarket will run out of something. You watch the story, will be on Monday. They ran out of water, they ran out of ice. I'm not quite sure what it'll be, but there'll be something. Maybe they run out of alcohol, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, Taupo's come alive, and for our benefit, so too is Flips Motor Park here for our 2024 AFC Motorcycles New Zealand Junior Motocross Championship. Levi Townley, Richard Spencer, what a story to tell for the Taylor Shearing Diva logging man. That is a cool result out there. And we've seen how well they've gone. We've seen at events, of course, in the South Island, in particular, of course, the likes of the Michael Godfrey motocross. But we've seen the times when they've come to the North Island as well, like a Woodville back in January in the Honda International Motocross Grand Prix. And to see how well he's done, but to see him now in this group, because you look at paper and say it's Levi Townley to win it, it's his to lose. But who's going to be next? Would you put Richard Spencer's name? You'd put half a dozen there. So go, Richard. Nice to see that Team Spencer can put it all together in a time that counts in the moment. And these are the cool stories, Brad. You know, who turns up on the day of the race and wants to be the champion? Because others will just say, Levi's going to beat me. How many times do we hear that? Oh, I'm already beaten. And if you've got that kind of attitude, well, you're not going to get there with the champions for sure. So well done to see these other riders coming through. And it's Richard's example, a man from North Canterbury in a high-flying second now.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic to see? You haven't ridden at Flips Motocross Park since September last year was the final round of the Battle Tour Ryan Series. So, I mean, even the local riders haven't done a lot of racing around JuniorMX Park. So you've got likes of people come from all over the country, and it is really a truly magnificent venue to host this event. And I think it's fabulous to see who's had a birthday, who's gone up to the next class, who's still young enough to be in that class. You think you know what's going on, but you've got no idea. And then, like you said, who just turns up this one weekend, the New Zealand Junior Motocross Championships, one weekend you've got to turn it on for. And here it is here, a massive 3 days of epic racing. Of the AFC New Zealand Junior Motocross Championships. So the third time Mount Ryan's hosted the event, the second ever trip, and the first one ever in the North Island. Back in 1982, so a long, long time ago, we had it again in 2019, and some of those champions are still with us here today, including our 8 to 11 years 85 champion, Seth Morrow, who's now a 15 to 16-year-old 125 racer. So just some of the cool stories out there. We've got it all on here. And Levi Townley, he was a Pro 65 champion that year, so he's looking to be another New Zealand championship to his name, and he is absolutely flawless, Neil. It's just a spectacular occasion on our hands here.
Oh, I've still said it and said it a number of times. My favourite racing class here from 2019, 5 years ago, was to see our fast and flying 65s man to man. We all of a sudden knew he was this fledgling 65 class. We were struggling, I think, was there, I don't know, was there probably only 8 or 12 in it. But the three we had, I'll never forget. Levi Townley, Jack Ellingham and Maz Parks and man to man. They'd each had a little bit of bad luck in their 5 races. So it came to the final and it was do or die. The crowd was wild up on the hill, racing from one side to the other. It was the most excitement I've seen a New Zealand motocross crowd at a junior event get in a long time, because it was an epic finale. The winner takes all it was. That's how close it was amongst those 3. And Levi came through at the last minute. And even Team Townley were gracious enough to say to the other riders, you guys were unlucky not to have got there, because it was certainly an epic finale. And here they are, the same trio, out to excite and delight us again all these years on, Brad. So pretty cool stories indeed at the moment. Central House Movers 13 to 16s, as we see out there. Levi Townley going for the number 1, and certainly it is a true number 1. And you just got to watch it. It's like you say, Brad, you know, is it poetry on wheels? Call it what you like, but an absolute elegant motocross ride to watch the fast and flying Levi Townley out there at the moment. Of course, the other sort of feature as well is a little bit under the radar, the race numbers. Brother Jagan, he rides on 43. Levi's on a 26. You know, they're not exactly the numbers that you would say, well, why don't they have a number 1 on their bike? Well, you're only a number 1 on your bike if you've got that one from the last year's racing. And I don't think we've got any of our number 1s on board this year, if I'm right in seeing it, because you've either been a number 1 or you've now moved up to another class. Of course, you can't take your number 1 with you, because the number 1 was to the class that you are now riding in. So there you go, putting in that number 1 I don't think we quite go for the red plate overnight. Is anybody to change and put a red plate on ready for tomorrow? But anyway, you get the idea. But there you have it in the numbers update. So Levi, Richard and Bodie. Bodie caught in there. So Bodie, another of our likeable Australians that join us here at the moment. Looking out for Carter Mackay back there, 16th, along with Hunter Pike, Cooper White in there, and Kobe Gordon Crosby. Another name to remember from bit past guy. I see a non-start now to Indy Allison, so not quite sure whether that's a problem. I hope it's not for the FX New Zealand Nutrition Systems lady, because Indy putting in a great result. I wonder whether she's now just concentrating on that women's class. That would not surprise me, and I'd agree with that 100%, because all the riders have now said just how rough and gnarly the track is getting out there. And for those trying to do two classes, you've got to be an elite sports person to do that. And, for a lot of our average riders that aren't doing a full focus on nutrition and gym and on the bike and off the bike kind of fitness, it is a very daunting and demanding challenge. So that does not surprise me. And if that is the case, I'd congratulate them to Max. Concentrate on the one that you're going to get the glory from, and that certainly could be the case for Indy. Brad, 2 weeks to go. Holy Toledo, we've got to rebuild a mini track over there that's been used for pits. There won't be much rest for the Man or Two Club. It's ought to be come Monday we'll clean up, and by Tuesday I think we better start setting it up for the club champs in 2 weeks' time.
Absolutely, it's going to be a big effort, all right, so looking forward to that one there. So yeah, 5 rounds of motocross, our Manawatu Ryan Club Series, that's not to be missed, this fabulous Flips MX Park, one of the really, really premier destinations for winter motocross here in New Zealand. This is starting to heat up, this one here, because we've got Levi Townley, he's getting gone, he is out of here, and that clock will expire on this pass around, so it should be white flag for him. But this battle for second place on here, Bodie Court snuck up into second place, Richard's gone back to third. So the two boys going out at hammer and tongs, and that move's been made in the last couple of corners, so look out for this one. We've got the dying stages here, Neil. We've got some battles still forming. Good performance, Isaac Ashworth, Conan Ian. A couple of the local stars coming out to play. But Bo Phillips charging through the pack. He's charged up to about 6th place. Ryan Foster's in there, called McConkie. All the usual suspects in this fabulous 13 to 16 years 85cc class. And with that 30-plus entries, isn't it the proof in the pudding? What a wonderful decision by Motorcycle New Zealand to recalibrate these 85cc classes and get 13 to 16s back as a premier destination.
Well, to give you an idea, of course, we were there last year and watched an 8 to 11 years class, big and full class. Then you watch a 12 to 13, a big and full class. Go to the 14 to 16s, and there was hardly anything in it. You know, there was probably less than about 10, I think might have been 12 entries at the max. So when you had your 385cc classes, they're not an even balance as these other big bulging classes. Now with making these changes, it actually evens them up, even though you've still got a bigger 11 to 12s, it's still worthwhile. And to me, the most important feature is that the 8 to 10s can become a true introduction class and get the younger ones to come in there and not be daunted, because I tell you what, once you've hit 11 years of age, the difference between an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old is huge, both in growing and maturity and race experience. So I think it's much safer when you haven't got such a diverse talented riders from an 8-year-old to an 11-year-old that we've now made it 8 to 10, 11 to 12. So proof's in the pudding, Brad. We did it for Woodville and it's worked here at Junior Nationals. I just hope nobody fiddles with it, eh?
All right, white flag's out, 1 to go. This thrilling 13 to 16 years 85cc class, and Levi Townley, man, this is some kind of performance. He is absolutely on rails here in this one, and he's got commanding advantage. We've got Bodie just crossing the flag now as well, so decent buffer for the legendary Levi Townley, 32 seconds in a 14-minute race. That is very, very telling. Richard Spencer still there in 3rd place, so he's online for some high-quality championship points coming his way as he is at that final spot on the podium wrapped up. We've still got Bo Phillips up into 4th place. Go Bo, he's getting really quick here this weekend on the Watson Racing Machine, and the whole Phillips family, man, they do a lot of travelling, they do a lot of driving around, and good to see Bo getting some quality results to go with his work. He's put in Isaac Ashworth still there, kind of in Ryan Foster. We've got 1 lap to go for those guys here. So a lot of battles going on, Neil, so there's crucial championship points that are going to be hard fought for, and they're on the line right now with 1 to go.
Well, the name like Bodie Court, we know how well he's ridden here when he's been in New Zealand in the past, so he was good enough to be in that 2nd place, a little way behind Levi, but still good enough for 2nd. But then you got the 3rd place, and of course, give that to Richard, and there he is still with that placing. So let alone the fact that he had the good start, wasn't 2nd, he overtaken by Bodie. You could say, yeah, well, that was potentially predictable, but now now to have the Taylor Shearing man back there in a third place with a very good placing. You know, Beau Phillips, Connor Nean, Ryan Foster, Isaac Ashworth, other very good riders, 13 to 16 years, and have all those kids up there gives us a good idea of just how much Richard's picked up with his racing. Of course, for the South Island, you know, to have a junior nationals at this time, you always feel sorry for the South Island because it's a much drier island by climate, and of course there are very few top levo moto events, anything really after about the Southern Series, which finishes up late November. So they're deprived of racing. They can't get a very good build-up because they're getting on there. So there you go. Good to know that they've come out and performed so well.
All right, done it in style. Levi Townley gets the job done there. What a dominant performance and what a flawless show there. Levi Townley gets the job done. He's got that box tick there and well on his way to 85cc glory. What a performance that was. We're looking out for Bodie Court still there in second place. He's rounding out that final straight, so he will be rounding it out. That'll be good. 22 championship points for him. Stays well within striking distance of that overall glory. So look out, Bodie Court. Now visiting Australian, good performance there. Then we go back to Richard Spencer. This is a really good show from Rich. He's going to come back and grab 20 of those championship points. That is a good performance. And, well, setting his weekend alight. So that is the call we've got there, 13 to 16. Our top three's come through. We're going to cross down to Neil very, very shortly, who will catch up with the dynamic Levi Townley, who's won race number one in emphatic style. Just that call as well to the paddock. We are going to be racing until we can't. The setting sun will determine what time we finish racing here tonight, so be ready to go for round number 2 of racing. We've still got a handful of races to get through round number 1, but once we do, we're going to try and reload as many of them as we can in on our big program here. The AFC Motorcycles at New Zealand Junior Nationals. As we look out, we'll cross down to you, Neil, and you can catch up with Levi on that dominant display.
Levi at the moment just on the fringes of their microphone, so hopefully we do catch him down here. So a reminder to talk to all of those race winners. We did get him down here. We can end up with the starting straight, but luckily they go away from us. So unlike Woodville, they come towards the podium, so it's always hard to do our winners podium there because the next race is literally going past us in 2 places. So to have this next group go away, and it means that we can still go to a little bit of time here. It probably is a little bit of a mix and match as far as Ctas is concerned. So if we have got you out there as an audience here for the podium, would be good to see. So just waiting for Levi here to join us on the podium. Kind of concentration, of course, these riders, because there actually should be nobody back to back, or as best as. I think we've got one rider affected by the back. It's why the program is like it is. People say, why do you put it that way? Well, of course, it's readjusting it so riders that are doing multi-classes can feel their own and know that they can go back to pits and then do one. Maybe there's one between them or 2 between them when they are doing it. We feel that these are the elite riders, so nice to see when they're all together. So just for Levi to join them here on that podium this time. Pretty special for Turbo Down to have Brad with us to do the call as well. Let's keep it on there's a bit of a breather, hops on the radio. The club's taking away background with all the great team. I want to do a shout out for Brad Powell and the start team down here. Brad does an awesome job. He's been doing starts here for a long time now and really does have that role in the club. But well, he'll be back, of course, for the club champs this year. He does at Woodville as well. So he knows how to set up those races and get everybody ready and focused for what they've got to do with their start as well. Our track team out there under the tutorship of Ryan has been incredible. So all the work that they've done, and I know they'll be going in for a big rework at the end of the day in shape and form, and of course also to go and put more water down as well for the opportunity to get this track ready, ripe for another big day tomorrow, and even bigger day on Sunday for the finale. If it's already got rough and ready and sharp out there, it's only going to get better or worse depending on which way you look at it. So there we have our update. All right, of course AFC not just with KTM, Kawasaki, Sea-Doo and Can-Am, but also, of course, now with Husqvarna Outdoors, along with Yamaha, added the range of motorcycle franchise. It's a big, impressive shop. It's got the biggest lineup of parts that you'll ever see, and accessories in any bike shop, plus the fact, of course, that it has super specials on. So, for example, recently the Bell helmet from $399 down to $199 for a name like selling at under $200. There'll be a big bulk tyre purchase in there. Recently it was a rubber and a big stack of junior motocross tyres on the floor, so they go out the door at a discount price. That's what the benefit of having a big bike shop behind events, and it gives you, the riders, a big opportunity to save some big money. So can't ask for better than from AFC Cycles. All right, all a little bit lonely here at the podium. More importantly, got our next class to come up, and please to reiterate again, don't just look at the program and say that's where we end today because it's the bottom of the page. No, we move over to the next page and try and peg as much of Saturday's program off on Friday as we want to peg as much of Sunday's off onto Saturday, and make sure that we've got a clear run home for our feature finale. So bring it all on, AFC Motorcycles New Zealand Junior Champs, right here, right now. Oh, God blimey, Levi was just standing around right here and I'd missed him. So